this is what we're gonna do. Let me show you. Bells is back here cooking. So this is what we're doing. Number one thing when you're harvesting food or when you're growing your own food is actually putting the food back into the ground. Not consuming all of the harvest, especially something like turmeric and ginger. You want to put it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these. Now, I've never really, most of the times when I plant, this is store-bought ginger. Most of the times when I do this, I just plant this, like store-bought ginger. You can see how it's all cleaned up. So most of the times when I plant my ginger, I like to just clean it up like that to make it look like the one that comes from the store. This year I got a comment and somebody asked me, like, could I just put that back in the ground with all the roots on it and everything? So I was like, I don't know. So I'm gonna try, like with this one, I'm gonna leave just a few roots on it and just to see what it does. But let me show you how to clean them up. It's real easy. Real easy. Basically, you get a little scissor. Let me see if I can show you all. Just all I do is just come in, basically just cut that off. Whether that's needed or not, I really don't know. But you can see that. Take it off. And then I would just go around cleaning up these parts. But you can see that? Yeah, cleaning up these parts. I don't know if that's necessary or not. So what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to leave some of it on there. So let me bring it down. And this is what we're going to do. I'm just taking some soil. You can see it's just the old soil from outside in different pots. The white stuff is just perlite. Up in some of my old pots, I still had a lot of perlite in it. So I kind of mixed it in with some compost and stuff like that. So basically you just take that and smooth it out. Just smooth it out. Let me get those chunks out of there. Got a lot of little chunks. Love putting my hands in the dirt. Just breaking it up. All right, so somebody asked me also, do I have to wait 2 years? No, you don't have to wait 2 years. That's just in a high tunnel. We actually grow ginger outside every year, and you just treat it like an annual crop, kind of like the cassava. Plant it early spring. I always say plant ginger 2 weeks. If you plant it outside, plant ginger 2 weeks before you can plant. You can probably push 2.5 before you can plant like tomatoes. That way, once the little green starts to come up out of the ground, it won't die in case you get a late frost. This is probably ginger at about 6-7 months. This is probably about how much growth you're gonna get. And you're gonna see what we're gonna do is we're gonna just be pulling off these little nodes. Once they grow some roots and a little green spout, we'll just break off just that node. So I'm gonna plant store-bought ginger and our ginger. So this is showing you if you go to the store and buy some ginger, yeah, you can plant that too. This is just ours. So I'll see. I don't think they're gonna do any much difference, but here it is. So you can break this if you want and just put it in there. You can wait till it kind of dries. If you don't, I don't think you have to. We're not gonna keep this soaking wet. I do have some holes in this thing. I do have like a hole somewhere on one of the sides so that water can drain out. You don't want to have like one of these trays without a hole in it. So you want to have it draining. So here's another one that we grew. We're gonna put that back in the ground. All right. And I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna put this one back in the ground as well. And all you want to do is just kind of separate these out. It doesn't have to be perfect because, let me see, this one, I'm going to put this one back in as well. Also with all the roots on it. I'm going to see if that does anything. I doubt it, but we'll see. I would like to break this piece here. It just looks like it wasn't flat enough. I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. All right, so you got that settled out. You just want a little bit of soil on the bottom, and that's just to help it from touching the bottom of your pot. I'm gonna indent it in just a little bit. this is my pride and joy. We're not gonna plant this one. We're gonna eat off of this one. So this will be the one we're eating off. I gave my mama some. Guillory got some from Guillory's Louisiana homestead. I mean, this is what we have left for that harvest that we did a few days ago. So put that to the side, and then basically you just get your soil. I'm gonna have to break some of that down. Doing good. I don't have dirt everywhere. So basically I'm just getting that. Uh-oh. I just dumped those. I spoke too soon. So you can see how I'm just covering that up. Covering it up. Push it down in there. Cover it up. These parts I'm going to cover up. Right, so now I'm going to get more dirt. This is fairly easy. It's a fairly easy process. All right, so you can see I got it totally covered. Now it's just like it's in a raised bed. Kind of even all of that out. Now you want to keep this damp. All right, just like if it was in a raised bed. I'm gonna put ours outside because I really don't want to keep this inside. I'm gonna put it outside in the high tunnel just for the sake of the children. I might just keep it under the carport because the kids will get it and pour it over, but you can see how that is. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna wait. Today is February the 2nd, so we're gonna wait and see how long it takes for some of this green to start sprouting up. That'll tell me, once the green starts sprouting, that'll tell me that it's taking roots. So how long that's gonna take, I really don't know. And we're gonna do a part 2 on this. So stay tuned. February the 2nd, we planted it, water it in a little bit. Not too wet, but if you water it really good, just make sure you got holes in the bottom where it can just soak on out. Keep it moist, and we'll be back when it starts sprouting. Stay tuned. So we're back. I think we started this, it was February 7th, and today is like May 17th, something around that time frame. So it's been, on this particular, this is how much growth we've gotten since February 7th. So it's about 3 months of growth. And I'm gonna show you, I kind of brought this inside, just like a makeshift raised bed. Ginger does well in raised beds. I would say if you do have a raised bed, try it in a raised bed first. More so, it's easier to harvest from a raised bed because you just pull them out. In the ground, it's a little bit more work. So you can kind of differentiate whether you want to put them in the ground or in a raised bed. I think actually in a raised bed that it allows the mass or the root to grow a little bit better, more freer than in the ground. It'll be a little bit more constricted. Once again, that's dependent upon your soil type. Whether if you got like loose soil, then it's probably good to put them in the ground. I think crops in the ground actually can pull more nutrients than crops in a raised bed. But raised beds just, I think they, because they allow the roots to be a little bit more freer, I think that's why raised beds tend to win in that kind of competition. So you see that's about February to March, March to April, April to May. 3 months of growth will get you this. Your idea would be to have 5 or 6 of these flats where you can kind of be on a continual harvesting of your, I want to call them ginger starts. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it down. Not gonna see much of my pretty face, but I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. All right, because this is what you really want to see. Now I've had this outside. I probably shouldn't bring this inside after you've had it outside for a while, because you're gonna have like little spiders and little bugs and things from outside that's in here. I can see them kind of crawling around, but just for the environment of doing a video, I thought I would bring it inside. My sister actually called me and asked me for some ginger and turmeric. She was like, where do I get some to start ginger and turmeric? And I was like, let me do this video and then I'm gonna bring them to you. So I'm probably gonna take 2 of these and I'm gonna put them in our raised beds. because I like raised bed ginger growing a little bit better. But I'm gonna put these in the high tunnel. So that way I won't have to harvest them when the frost comes. If you put them outside, you're gonna have to harvest them when the freeze comes. But if you got a high tunnel or greenhouse, something like that, you can just let them grow and grow, and the roots actually get bigger and bigger the second year. So I'm gonna pull this one out and gonna see. But now these are a little long. I would have liked to harvest them maybe when they're like about, let me show you. Maybe when they're about this size to this first leaf. That's plenty. This here is getting kind of too long. But like I said, I've been leaving it just for the sake of doing this video. So let me get in here. I'm feeling a lot of good root growth though. And basically you're gonna take them out. You're gonna take them out. After you pop off your roots, then you're gonna go ahead on and just replant if you got anything else left. But y'all see all this root growth in here? God, that's a lot of root growth. So just let me show you. What you want to do is, you really don't have to pull this all the way out, really. You basically, if you can see it, right here is where the new ginger is forming. You can see this old ginger, right? You can see all the old ginger from what we planted. Go ahead, because the root growth is so good up in here, I just don't want to pull it all out. Go ahead on it and get your hand around this little new growth. It's just a little node, and you can just basically, if y'all can see that, we're gonna pop that off. You saw that? Y'all heard it anyway. So I'm gonna turn it a little bit. All right, so I basically just pop this off from this mother plant. Now I'm gonna try to, I like working with the flats because you can really get a lot of that root out of there. Just slowly tug it and get as much as you can. Some's gonna break off, but for the most part, I'm getting a good bit. All right, I mean, the soil is real loose, so you can kind of see that, how I'm working it out. The soil is really loose, kind of allowing me to just work it out of there. And like I say, this method here is a long-term ginger growing, ginger stock method. You're gonna keep this continually growing. As you get new ginger, you'll grab one, put them in your soil. But look at that. So I got all of this root growth now. And when you just buy ginger from the store, like if I bought this and put this straight in my garden, 9 times out of 10, unless you put a stake by it or kids don't pull the stake out, you won't know where this ginger is because you're putting it underground. So you're liable to dig it up while you're planting something else. You'll think it's not growing. So this is a more foolproof method to where you wait until it starts growing before you actually plant it. So I got this much roots and all. Now I'm going to get the little makeshift pot, right? And basically you just want to get this, I'm going to take some of this soil out of here, set it on the side. I want to get as much of those roots in there as possible. All right. And all this is a raised bed, right? I wouldn't replant in a small pot like this. This is just for the sake of the video. So if it was your raised bed though, you would basically just move all your dirt back and put it in up to the level of right here at the top of this node. So I'm going to show you that. Basically, you drop it in there. All right, if this is your raised bed, you fill it back up. All right. Remember, the ginger grows underground, so you want to cover that whole root up. In a raised bed, this won't be moving like this. You'll be able to pack it down a little bit better. And that's why I'm going to bring this to when I finish this video. But basically, there you go. So you can see now as you plant these, you can actually see where your ginger is, right? You can actually see where it is. And basically you would do the same thing with every one of these. Just take them out. I'll show you right now. I'm going to take out one more. So let's go back down. I'm gonna take this one out. I'm gonna save these for my sister over here. I'm gonna take this one out. Basically, you just come, you can see everything. You can see the roots, right? I'm just gonna come. You're gonna have to pop it off now. You're gonna have to pop it off. And there you go. So what I'm gonna do, leave the rest of this stuff, cover up the rest of this. This one probably might give us some more. I had one from the planning. I'm gonna take that one out. So let me move this over here. That's about to go into the high tunnel. One over here I saw, it didn't do anything but rot. So I'm gonna pull that one out so y'all can see it. So this whole thing here rotted. Why? Y'all remember me planting that one? That's the one I planted. Still had the roots on it and stuff. Maybe I should have took those roots off. Next time I'll take the roots off. But that's how that one went. It just rotted, decomposed. Basically it's compost now. But you can take another one and put it in its place. So out of the ones that we actually put down, you can see that we're starting to get more and more. These, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one coming up here, 6, 7, 8. So can't remember exactly how many I put in there. I won't be able to see that until I do the editing on this video. But basically, I'm gonna leave these to grow a little bit bigger. I'm gonna harvest these here for planting. And you just wanna continually do that. Over and over and over. That's how you want to do it. Just keep them coming. Keep planting. Harvest some. Put some back in. Harvest some. Put some back in. And like I said, if you had 5 or 6 of these flats running, then it would be a more. You won't have to wait as long. As they start coming, everything will just become like a little wheel, right? So I'm gonna keep these 2. I'm gonna bring it to the high tunnel, and my sister at Southern Singing Kitchen, she's gonna grow these for her channel. So thank y'all for watching the Grow Family Network. And as always, you already know, grow some ginger. Grow, grow, grow. Peace.